The whirl of the past few months had left me in a frenzy, a heady mix of hard work, pressure, and ultimate satisfaction. Frantically maneuvering through the constantly changing landscapes of digital arts and gaming, I found myself at the center of a storm driven by my ambitions, fueled by my talent, and modulated by my creativity. By the time September 2023 had rolled in, I knew it was time for a pause. Words can hardly capture the sheer intensity of my experiences. At the forefront of the fiercely competitive VR sector, I was designing, creating, and streaming, all under the scrutinizing gaze of a demanding industry. Concurrently, my Twitch presence was soaring, a gratifying validation of my connection with gaming enthusiasts who eagerly awaited each of my streams while cheering me on. You wouldn't believe the pressure and thrill of playing live for thousands. The euphoria of completing back-to-back projects was incredible, but there was an undeniable toll on my mental and physical health. It was as though I'd been in a vigorous, all-consuming dance with my responsibilities, and the music had stopped for a moment. Amidst this sudden silence, I stood panting breathlessly, drenched in hard work and achievements, yet longing for a moment, a pause to catch my breath and reflect. In this mad race against time, this break almost felt luxurious. It was an opportunity to simply step back and inhale deeply, a chance to remind myself that there was a world beyond project deadlines and Twitch streaming sessions. The decision was thus made. It was time to pull the brakes and consciously step away from work, take a well-deserved break and rejuvenate myself. For a week in September 2023, I was no longer Amy, the freelance 3D asset designer running on caffeine and ambition, or Amy, the Twitch streamer whose mind buzzed with gaming strategies well into the night. I was just Amy, and it felt restful, healing, and liberating to embrace that. The remarkable rush of success I had been witnessing in my career had an equally exhausting flip side. The world of gaming and digital art was relentless, as captivating as it was challenging, and while I reveled in every chance to push the boundaries of my skills, it also felt as if I was putting myself through a grueling marathon, placing one foot in front of the other with steadfast determination. Balancing the demands of an accelerating freelance career with an ever-growing Twitch following, I found myself perpetually in motion, persistently innovating, persistently creating, and persistently streaming to thousands of gaming enthusiasts who, I admit, now played a significant part in shaping my journey. It seemed as though time was sprinting ahead, and I was in a relentless pursuit to keep up with it. Each moment felt soaked in urgency as I oscillated between VR sketching tools and gaming consoles, between the virtual realms of my 3D models, the thrill of live gaming, and the demanding yet exhilarating expectations of the digital community. The mental and physical strain was palpable, as I charged every nerve and sinew into ensuring I didn't lose sight of my goals, all the while being acutely aware of the toll it was taking on my well-being. Interestingly, amidst this adrenaline-churning hustle, I found myself caught up in a paradox. On one hand, I was living my dream of showcasing my 3D designs to the world, of being hailed as an innovative digital artist, and attracting a wave of followers on Twitch with every twitch of a gaming maneuver. On the other, my body demanded rest and my mind cried out for time to reflect on the path I had charted so far. Acknowledging the need for this much-needed pause, I decided to ease my foot off the pedal for a week. It wasn't a decision I made lightly, but let me assure you, it didn't come with a quilt of guilt or the weight of worry either. It came from a place of wisdom, a conscious understanding that even the most resilient of us needed rest, a period of stillness, to prepare for the next storm. And I knew there was still much more to come. Slowing down didn't mean ceasing to exist, as I initially feared. The fear of being forgotten in the fast-paced digital world vanished as I realized my value as an artist and a gamer wasn't determined by a constant online presence. Unplugging from the dizzying world of pixels and polygons, I allowed my mind to drift towards other fulfillments, those that didn't rely on tangled codes or phantom figures projected onto VR headsets. I turned my attention to the instrumental sounds of creativity that had been muted by the intoxicating hustle of my career. Unearthing my neglected DSLR, I wandered around the kinetic labyrinth that was Manhattan, chasing light, colors, and moments frozen in time. Photography, Once a passionate pastime was now an escape from the mechanically precise forms I worked with daily. Each click of my camera's shutter did not just capture images. It freeze-framed an ability, a talent that had lain dormant. The joy of physically navigating my city contrasted the digital landscapes I was familiar with. Every graffitied wall and every architecturally distinct building in New York was an artistic canvas, reawakening the awe I felt for visual creativity in all its forms. I reveled in how my craft and my hometown influenced each other. It was an exhilarating dance between my love for non-digital artistry and my passion for boundary-pushing virtual landscapes. In the absence of the 24/7 gamer and design maven, I became a tourist in my city, relishing unseen aspects, renewing my cultural curiosity, and rejuvenating my creative perspective. Free from the constraints of professional commitments, I took a deep dive into urban exploration, the rushing subway around Times Square, the constellations of glowing neon at Koreatown, the symphony of startup hustle at Silicon Alley echoing my own journey, and I came alive, thriving on the city's eclectic energy like a fish back in water. My days of tranquility also provided space for reconnecting with people, friends and family who had become distant satellites, while I orbited my own professional goals. Becoming Amy again, instead of Amy the Twitch sensation or Amy the 3D artist, I laughed, shared stories, and relished the undiluted joy of interpersonal connections, a grounded contrast to my digital lifestyle. For once, time was on my side, and I commandeered its abundance, from lengthy family dinners to spontaneous hangouts with friends. Old bonds were rekindled, and new memories were woven into my tapestry of experiences. Mingled with the laughter and warmth was also valuable feedback and wisdom from my circle, giving me fresh perspectives on my career and personal growth. Funny how we sometimes find the profoundest revelations in the simplest of conversations, isn't it? During that week away, I stole moments of solitude for introspection. It was like switching on a mental projector, letting each frame of my past cascade on the canvas of my mind. I reminisced my university days, those nervous first steps into the colorful world of digital arts. The memory of my first major project presentation, steeped in palpable excitement, made me understand how much I had evolved as a designer. There was frustration too, the kind that brews when you strive for perfection, struggling nights when my design efforts fell short, only to be rewarded by my relentless resolve. I relived the surges of joy following the acceptance of my first freelance project, a fulfilling affirmation of my capabilities. These milestones were pins on my life map, elucidating paths of perseverance and obstinacy time and again. Reminiscing, it was fascinating to see how each challenge morphed into a stepping stone to where I stood today. My journey as a streamer played out vividly, from my first stream, rife with performance jitters and technical glitches, to the recent surge of followers. I could still feel the electrifying excitement of seeing those viewer numbers rise, the nervous chattering to fill silences, and the sweet gratification of interacting with a growing community who shared my passion. My dives into the Twitch world weren't just gaming, but a symbiosis of sharing, learning, and forming genuine connections. Behind every accomplishment was a story of grit, resilience, and the will to keep pushing boundaries in the face of difficulties. I remembered the looks of surprise when I swapped conventional career paths for a love amalgamated in digital artistry and gaming. But I never regretted it. It was a choice that shaped my life, a path that may have seemed unconventional to others, but felt like home to me. In those quiet moments of introspection, I fully realized how my past decisions, challenges, and triumphs had interwoven into the fabric of my personal and professional growth. It was not a linear ascent, but a thrilling roller coaster, jolting with highs and lows that had remarkably shaped who I am today. Not confined to being just Amy, or even Amy the Twitch streamer or Amy the 3D artist, but a euphonious amalgamation of all, cocooning my experiences, my learnings, and my aspirations in its spectrum. Drinking in these reflections was akin to rereading chapters from my own biography, but now, with the wisdom of hindsight. Reminiscing those past struggles, I appreciated how they carved out the strengths I have today. I realized the art of perfection that used to be my bane had actually been one of my greatest teachers. It taught me patience, that there's no shortcut to excellence, and it's only through repeated trials and errors that a true masterpiece is born. Similarly, while the memory of my early streaming days once brought a blush of embarrassment, I now held them in a new light. They were the testament of my courage and persistence. Yes, there were awkward silences, tech glitches, and even a handful of damaging criticisms, but they didn't deter me. Instead, they drove me towards honing my skills, building my online community, and leveraging my Twitch channel to rise above the obstacles. I saw then that every setback was nothing more than a setup for a comeback. I found that my streamer persona wasn't born overnight, but evolved alongside me. More so than just an entertainer, or a pro gamer, I brought my own unique blend of 3D artistry, of digital storytelling, of bringing the shared passion for tech and gaming to the online world. That resonated with my viewers, my peers, my friends. Looking back, the surprise on people's faces when I chose this unique career path seems almost laughable now. Choosing digital arts and gaming didn't just make my career. It became an intrinsic part of me, shaping my character and my life. It was interesting to realize how beautifully my choices, my work, my passions harmoniously amalgamated to create a blissful symphony that is my life. Within those quiet moments, musing over my past, a realization dawned on me. Every struggle, every triumph, every decision, and every turning point had not merely punctuated chapters of my life, but had meticulously spun themselves into the intricate tapestry of my growth. More than mere bullet points on a timeline, they were the organic, winding paths on the map of my journey. My journey, not defined by a linear progression, instead was a rich tapestry, woven across highs and lows, making me more than just a dreamer, a creator, or an entertainer. I am a complex harmony of these experiences, a symphony of authenticity, resilience, and aspiration. After all, I am Amway, and this collection of experiences, stories, and moments are quintessentially me. I have grown through software crashes, through stream glitches, through tumbles and personal missteps, honing me into the woman I am today, chapter by chapter, verse by verse. My journey ahead, the thoughts of it were both exhilarating and daunting at the same time. This whirl of emotions was not new to me. It was a feeling that became my companion with every new project, every streaming session, every twist and turn in this non-linear career path that I had chosen. It was an inevitable part of my creative ride. As I envisioned it, there was successes yet to be savored, technology yet to be mastered, innovations yet to be pursued. At 25, as strange as it may sound, I felt at the helm of vast potentials awaiting to unfurl from the seedling of my career in 3D design. The vivid virtual landscapes that I hoped to paint someday with my skill set danced before my eyes as tantalizing glimpses of a future not yet born. They were more than just aspirational figments. They were stirring ripples of my onward journey, resonating from the past into the present. I was in the process of becoming, a process of constantly embracing learning curves while pushing the boundaries of my creative expressions. My dream of broadening my Twitch community to reach enthusiasts who shared my passion for tech and gaming was another aspect of the journey I saw ahead. The idea was not just about expanding my follower count. It was about creating a space teeming with interactive discussions, knowledge exchanges, and collective thriving. I wasn't just eyeing bigger viewer numbers. I aimed to curate a vibrant community, an inclusive forum that celebrated each achievement together and supported each other through every glitch. As I dipped my toes into this contemplative pause, these thoughts were nearly tangible, like stepping stones shimmering under the ebb and flow of my aspirations, each paving a unique path of its own, only to converge somewhere beyond the horizon of my vision, in a future that seamlessly blends the digital world I co-create with my abilities and the thriving community of radiating minds supporting each other's strides. Here was this vast panorama of possibilities inked with trials and triumphs, paved with code lines and creations, which I was ready to step into with a rejuvenated spirit. An enormous blank canvas lay ahead, and I was the artist bristling with brushes dipped in the hues of resilience, creativity, and innovation. Despite having this whole picture painted in the canvas of my thoughts, the reality was that the journey would be much more unpredictable, much more vibrant, and much more enriching than what I contemplated in my solace. But whatever lay ahead, I was ready to take them on with my renewed energy and tech-addicted soul. This incessant, unstoppable change, it's what breathed life into my dreams, my work, my passion. It's what made me just as I am. And so, having invested time in replenishing my energies and shaping my vision for the future, I was ready to return. As I sat poised to pick up the reins of my digital narrative once again, I felt an invigorating surge of energy coursing through me. The break had gifted me a fresh perspective and a newfound respect for the path I had chosen. I was eager now more than ever to pick up my digital tools and carve out the wonders that lay in the realm of my imagination. As a content creator for Twitch, my relationship with my technology and my audience had always been an ongoing cycle of learning and adaptation. Every session was an opportunity to refine my skills, to delve deeper into the potential of my craft. Now, with the renewed fervor, I was ready to hit the ground running on Twitch, not just as a streamer, but a visionary keen on fostering an inclusive space for tech enthusiasts and gamers alike. This week had been a revelation in itself, reminding me of the resilience that was an integral part of my ethos. I had stumbled, faltered, and picked myself up again, all the while learning from my failures and triumphs. The path, as far as I could see, wasn't going to smooth out anytime soon. The ups and downs would continue to punctuate my journey, but having braved the storm before, I was ready to face it all head-on. Each hurdle, each failure, each success, and each milestone had been integral to shaping the professional I am today. Each one served as a lesson, emphasizing the significance of adaptability and resilience in this fast-paced digital era. Each setback, each big win was not just a solitary event, but a confluence of experiences and emotions that painted the grand tapestry of my professional life. In retrospect, despite the challenges that I had encountered, there was never a moment where I regretted choosing this path. Art in every form demands a piece of the artist's soul. My profession was no different. Being a digital artist, to many, was about creating virtual worlds, but to me it was about birthing realities. Realities as seen through my lens, brought to life by my creativity and aspiration. No matter the trials that lay ahead, I knew one thing was certain. The artist in me, the digital nomad, would continue to wander freely across the canvas of technology, coloring it with her imagination and innovation. The thrill of the unknown, the excitement of breaking a new barrier, and the prospect of creating, innovating, and narrating was an adrenaline, a fuel that kept my spirits ignited. Embracing this balance of uncertainties and known territories, I found my stride in the dynamic dance of innovation and recreation. My professional journey was akin to a puzzle that added a new piece every day. This spectrum of sentiments, experiences, and aspirations were all parts of the broader, colorful canvas that was my life. And standing on the precipice of farther opportunities, I couldn't help feel grounded yet excited. I was ready to dive into the deep end, filled with a rekindled spirit, charged and eager to embrace the vibrant realities of my profession. I was Amy, a creator, a gamer, a resilient spirit, eager to turn to the next chapter of my story.